Welcome to the world of science fiction stories, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel. Enjoy the listening. Outgunned and Outdated: How One Human Ship Humiliated an Alien Armada. The vast darkness of space stretched endlessly, a black canvas punctuated by distant stars. The UEA Resolute moved with a quiet determination, its metal skin telling stories of countless journeys across the galactic frontier. The ship was old but not defeated, a veteran of humanity's first steps into the unknown. Captain Park Ji-won stood on the bridge, his hands resting firmly on the command console. Every line on his face spoke of years spent navigating the unpredictable currents of space. The bridge crew moved with practiced efficiency, each crew member knowing their role without need for unnecessary words. Suddenly, the ship's sensors began to pulse with an urgent rhythm. Kim Hyun, the communications officer, straightened in her seat, her fingers dancing across the holographic displays. Her voice cut through the ambient hum of ship systems. "Captain, we've got multiple energy signatures incoming. These are not standard contact readings." Ju-won's eyes narrowed. He had seen enough unexpected encounters to know that strange readings rarely meant good news. The holographic display flickered to life, revealing a formation of alien vessels that seemed to materialize from the void itself. The alien fleet was unlike anything the human crew had ever encountered. Each vessel was a work of precise engineering, sleek angular shapes that looked more like living sculptures than machines. Their hulls gleamed with an unnatural metallic sheen, suggesting technologies far beyond human comprehension. Where human ships were functional and somewhat blocky, these vessels moved with an almost organic grace. The Resolute, by comparison, looked like an aging warrior standing against a legion of advanced warriors. It all bore the marks of previous missions, scoring from micrometeoroid impacts, patches from emergency repairs, and the general wear of decades of space travel, but beneath that weathered exterior beat the heart of a resilient machine. Lieutenant Park Soo-yen, the tactical officer, began running rapid calculations, her screens filled with probability matrices and potential engagement scenarios. "Captain," she reported steadily, "our defensive capabilities are significantly lower than the incoming fleet's offensive potential. We're looking at a 92.7% probability of complete destruction if we engage directly." Captain J-1 didn't flinch. He had heard such statistics before, and humanity had defied impossible odds countless times. "Battle stations," he commanded, his voice calm but carrying an underlying steel that made every crew member instantaneously alert. The ship's internal systems came alive, klaxons began a low rhythmic warning, blast doors sealed, protective shields began charging, and every crew member moved to their designated emergency positions. The Resolute might be old, but it was preparing for a fight. What made this moment extraordinary was not the technological disparity, but the human spirit embodied on that bridge. Each crew member knew the stakes. They weren't just defending a ship, they were representing humanity's right to exist in a universe that seemed indifferent to their survival. The alien vessels continued their approach, their movements synchronized with a precision that suggested a collective intelligence. They didn't just move, they flowed like liquid metal, each ship anticipating the movement of its companions with impossible coordination. Captain Ju-won studied the incoming formation. Decades of military training and space exploration had taught him that technology wasn't everything. Adaptability, creativity, and pure human determination could turn the tide of seemingly hopeless encounters. "Prepare non-standard response protocols," he instructed his crew. The phrase was code for something the military training manuals never documented: the ability to improvise, to use their limitations as unexpected strengths. As the alien fleet drew closer, the tension on the bridge became a tangible force. Everyone knew that the next few moments would determine not just their survival, but potentially the fate of human expeditionary forces in this sector of space. The Resolute might have been old, its systems outdated, its technology a generation behind, but it carried something no advanced alien algorithm could predict: the unpredictable, fierce spirit of human survival. In that moment, as the Alien Armada approached with calculated precision, the crew of the UEA Resolute prepared to show the universe that humanity was not just another species to be catalogued or conquered. The battle was about to begin. Deep within the bowels of the UEA Resolute, Chief Engineer Lee Sun-Min worked with a determination that bordered on desperation. The engine room hummed with an electric tension, a symphony of whirring machines and crackling electrical connections. Sun-Min was no ordinary engineer, he was a magician of mechanics, a wizard of wiring who could breathe life into the most hopeless of technological situations. Around him, the engine room looked like a battlefield of technology. Panels were open circuits exposed, and random components lay scattered across work surfaces. Maintenance shuttles, typically used for routine repairs, now sat waiting to be transformed into something entirely unexpected. Some men moved between stations with a grace that belied the critical nature of his work. His hands moved quickly, connecting wires that engineering manuals would have declared impossible to combine. Old sensor arrays from previous missions, components that should have been scrapped years ago, now found new purpose. He was creating something entirely new, entirely desperate, and potentially brilliant. Computer, run diagnostic on experimental circuit configuration Alpha 79. The ship's computer responded with a series of warnings and error messages, but Sun-Min wasn't interested in standard protocols, he was interested in survival. Years of experience had taught him that rules were meant to be broken, especially when facing extinction. Each connection he made was a calculated risk, each rewired system a potential lifeline for the entire ship. The alien fleet approaching was technologically superior in every measurable way, but technology could be outsmarted, systems could be confused. Nearby, a junior engineer watched in a mixture of awe and terror. "Sir," the young woman asked, "are you sure this will work?" "Some men," he didn't even look up, "nothing is sure in space, but we're definitely not going down without making them remember us." His modifications were unconventional, he was essentially creating a technological chimera, a system that combined outdated hardware with experimental software, bridging generations of technological development in a matter of hours. Old communication arrays were being reconfigured to act as defensive interference generators, and maintenance shuttles were being prepared with improvised weapon systems. The ship groaned around him, as if feeling the radical surgeries being performed on its systems. Metal creaked, electrical systems sparked, and for a moment it seemed like the entire vessel might fall apart from the stress of Sun-Min's modifications. But slowly, something remarkable began to happen. Systems that had been dormant for years suddenly flickered to life. Diagnostic screens showed impossible readings, configurations that shouldn't work but somehow did. It was as if the ship itself was responding to Sun-Min's desperate creativity. "We're more than just metal and circuits," Sun-Min whispered to the machine around him. "We're survivors." Outside the engine room, the ship continued its approach toward the alien fleet, but inside, a transformation was occurring. Each rewired circuit, each reproposed system was a testament to human ingenuity. They might not have had the most advanced technology, but they had something far more powerful: adaptability. The maintenance shuttles, once designed for simple repair missions, now looked like improvised weapons of war. Their simple designs had been enhanced, their purposes completely reimagined. Some men had turned them from maintenance tools into potential combat units. As alarms continued to sound and the ship prepared for potential destruction, some men allowed himself a small smile. The alien fleet might have superior technology, but they hadn't encountered human determination. "We're ready," he said quietly, more to himself than to anyone else. The engine room continued to pulse with life, a heart of technological improvisation beating within the aging vessel. Whatever was coming, the Resolute and its crew were prepared to face it with everything they had, and in that moment, survival was not just a possibility, it was a promise. The silence of space erupted with electric tension as the alien fleet closed in on the UES Resolute. Each alien vessel moved with mathematical precision, their weapon systems charging with a cold, calculated efficiency. They had encountered countless civilizations before, and each encounter had ended the same way: swift, complete, total elimination. But this human vessel was different. Captain Park J-1 watched the approaching armada through the bridge's reinforced viewing screen, his hands remaining steady on the command console. a calm center in the storm of imminent conflict. Around him, the bridge crew moved with a synchronized rhythm, their movements betraying no hint of the terror that might have consumed less disciplined soldiers. The first energy pulse left the alien vessel, a weapon of such advanced design that it had obliterated entire planetary defenses in previous encounters. It was a lance of pure destructive potential, designed to slice through even the most robust defensive systems. But the Resolute was not a standard target. As the energy pulse approached, something unexpected happened. The shift shields didn't just absorb the impact or collapse, instead, they shifted. The defensive barrier flickered with an almost organic quality, changing color and molecular density in ways that defied standard physics. The alien weapon found no consistent point of impact, where a standard shield might have simply blocked or absorbed energy. The Resolute's modified systems did something entirely different. The shield absorbed the energy, then immediately redistributed it across multiple quantum frequencies. It was like watching water flow around a rock. The energy was redirected, fragmented, neutralized. On the alien command ship, confusion began to replace confidence. Their tactical displays showed impossible readings. The human vessel wasn't just defending, it was actively transforming their most advanced weapon technology. Lieutenant Park Soo-Yan's fingers danced across her tactical console. The modifications made by Chief Engineer Lee Sun-Min are working perfectly, she reported, a hint of excitement breaking through her professional tone. Energy redirection at 78% efficiency. The alien fleet formation began to waver, their initial attack strategy, which had worked countless times against numerous civilizations, was falling apart. The Resolute wasn't just surviving, it was learning, adapting in real time. Another energy pulse approached. This time, the alien commanders adjusted their weapon frequencies, attempting to find a weakness in the human ship's defense, but again, the Resolute shields performed their impossible dance, absorbing, redirecting, neutralizing. Captain Jivan allowed himself a slight smile. Humanity's greatest strength had always been its ability to adapt, to find solutions where others saw only problems. This ship was proving that principle on the grandest stage possible, the infinite battlefield of space. The alien vessels began to maneuver, their perfect formation became ragged, as they encountered something they had never faced before, an opponent that didn't follow the expected rules of engagement. Each energy pulse that struck the Resolute seemed to make the ship stronger, more resilient. It was as if the vessel was learning, its defensive systems evolving with each incoming attack. The modifications made in the engine room were turning the ship into a living, breathing entity of survival. Continue defensive protocols, Jivan commanded. Let them waste their energy. And so the battle continued, a dance of technological innovation against rigid, predictable military doctrine. The Resolute wasn't just fighting, it was teaching the alien fleet a lesson about the unpredictable nature of human survival in the vast, silent theater of space. An old human vessel was rewriting the rules of warfare, one impossible shield adaptation at a time. The battle transformed into a complex dance of technological warfare. Captain Park Ji-won understood something fundamental about the alien fleet. Their strength lay in perfect synchronization, a collective intelligence that operated like a single massive organism. But organisms could be disrupted. Using the Resolute's oldest communication systems, technology so ancient the aliens would never expect it, Jivan began broadcasting a series of seemingly random signal patterns. These weren't just noise, they were carefully crafted interference, designed to create maximum confusion. The alien fleet's first response was subtle, their perfect formation began to wobble like a massive machine experiencing unexpected glitches. Where once they moved with mathematical precision, now small gaps appeared between vessels, coordination started to break down. Lieutenant Park Soo-Yan watched her tactical screens with growing excitement. Signal interference is working, she reported. Their collective network is experiencing significant disruption. J1's strategy was elegant in its simplicity. Modern communication systems relied on complex, predictable protocols, but the Resolute's ancient systems operated on principles so outdated they became unexpectedly effective. It was like fighting a modern computer with an old-fashioned typewriter, completely unpredictable, The ship moved across the battlefield like a wounded animal. To the alien fleet, the Resolute appeared vulnerable, damaged, but vulnerability can be the most dangerous state of all. Each movement was calculated, each shift in position a potential trap. Continue broadcasting, Jivan instructed. Make them question everything. The alien vessels started to respond erratically, some moved forward aggressively, while others pulled back. Their perfect synchronization was shattering. What had been a single deadly organism was now becoming a collection of confused individual units. Chief Engineer Lee Sun-min's modifications played a crucial role. The ship systems could now rapidly adapt, switching communication frequencies faster than the aliens could track. It was technological guerrilla warfare, striking quickly, then vanishing before a proper response could be mounted. Aboard the alien command ship, confusion turned to frustration. Their tactical systems, designed for perfect collective action, were being overwhelmed by human unpredictability. Each attempt to re-establish communication was met with another burst of complex, randomized signals. The Resolute wasn't just defending anymore, it was actively hunting. Small maintenance shuttles, previously modified by Sun-min, now darted between alien vessels. They weren't traditional weapons, but tools of distraction and disruption. Their movements were erratic, their purposes unclear, exactly what made them dangerous targets for their primary communication nodes. Jivan said calmly, break their collective thinking. Each broadcast was a weapon, each signal a potential killing stroke. The aliens had technology, but humans had creativity, and in this moment, creativity was proving far more dangerous than advanced weaponry. The battlefield became a canvas of human improvisation, where alien strategy demanded perfection and human strategy embraced chaos. The Resolute wasn't just fighting, it was teaching a lesson about the unpredictable nature of survival. As the battle continued, something remarkable happened. The alien fleet, once a perfect machine of destruction, was becoming something else, a collection of individual vessels, confused and no longer acting as a single intelligent entity. In the center of this technological storm, the Resolute moved, wounded, dangerous, alive. The battlefield fell silent, a vast expanse of scattered metal and drifting debris, where once a mighty alien armada had existed, now only fragments remained, twisted hulls and broken systems spinning slowly against the dark backdrop of space. The UEA Resolute hung there, battered but magnificent, her hull was scored with deep burn marks, her exterior showing signs of incredible stress, but she was intact. More than intact, she was victorious. Captain Park Ji-won walked across the bridge, each step telling a story of survival. The ship's systems hummed with a quiet, almost triumphant energy around him. Crew members exchanged glances of disbelief and relief. They had done the impossible. Communications Officer Kim Hyen's hands moved across her console, preparing the transmission that would be remembered in human military history. Her fingers paused for a moment, then pressed the final sequence. This is what happens when you underestimate humanity. The message was simple, direct, powerful. In engineering, Lee Sun-min allowed himself a rare smile. The modifications he had desperately implemented had worked beyond anyone's expectations. Old systems, considered obsolete, had become the key to survival. Maintenance shuttles turned into weapons of disruption, and outdated communication arrays became tools of strategic brilliance. Outside, the remaining alien vessels drifted, no longer a coordinated fleet but broken fragments of what had once seemed invincible. Their advanced technology lay defeated by human creativity, by the ability to think beyond programmed responses. Lieutenant Park Soo-yen began compiling the battle data. Every sensor reading, every tactical decision would become a case study. Military minds would analyze this engagement for years to come, not because of technological superiority, but because of human adaptability. Captain Jivan understood the deeper significance. This wasn't just a battle won, this was a statement about human potential. They had faced an enemy with superior technology, with a seemingly unbeatable strategy, and they had emerged victorious through nothing more than creative thinking and determination. The ship's computer began damage assessment protocols. Surprisingly, critical systems remained functional. Sun Min's emergency repairs and unconventional modifications had ensured the Resolute's survival, where standard engineering would have failed. Human ingenuity had prevailed across the galaxy. This transmission would spread, other potential alien threats would receive a clear message: humanity was not to be underestimated. As recovery operations began, the crew moved with a sense of quiet pride. They weren't just soldiers or engineers, they were representatives of something larger, the human spirit of survival, of pushing beyond known limitations. The battle had changed everything, not through advanced weapons, not through superior technology, but through the most human of qualities: adaptability, creativity, and an unbreakable will to survive. The UES Resolute drifted slowly, scarred but unbroken, a testament to human potential. Her journey was far from over, and somewhere in the vast darkness of space, other challenges awaited. But humanity was ready,